All right, Gary, it's all you.
Oh my.
I know.
I apologize up front.
You're so bad.
All right, you all set? All right. Well, we want to cite the words of two great American philosophers, Peaches and Herb. Reunited, and it feels so good. That really is how we're feeling, and it's happening tomorrow. Tomorrow is reunion day. Just 2 weeks ago, our focus was on a countdown to what we had identified as Separation Day, the second anniversary of an incredible 2-year journey of virtual separation of the U.S. and Canadian people from one another, harming the greatest relationship on the face of the earth, which is based on the social connection, not on the boxes going back and forth. The boxes kept going back and forth. We were happy about that. By the way, there still was a lot of interference with business as well, because you couldn't do business meetings, you couldn't visit your plants, you couldn't visit potential customers, you couldn't visit potential new suppliers. So it was never actually true that business wasn't being interfered with. It was. But what was most being interfered with was the naturalness of the connection between the American and Canadian people. You know, it's been said that one of the things that makes the relationship between our two countries so special is that unlike any other binational relationship on earth, the U.S. with France, Canada with Japan, those relationships are defined primarily by government-to-government interactions. What are the issues, the policies, the asks, the disagreements of the day defining the relationship? The U.S. and Canadian relationship has always been defined by and driven by the people-to-people connection. So that even when our two governments are having a dispute over some trade item or something else they disagree with, which will always happen between friends, that isn't what defines the relationship. The relationship is sustained in a very important way by the people-to-people connection. Now, you shut that valve off for 2 full years of that people-to-people connection, and we had difficulty getting many of our friends in Washington and importantly, many of our friends in Ottawa to quite understand the degree to which you're actually harming the relationship. You're not just causing inconvenience, you're not just causing some sad separations of family, you're not just causing some economic impacts because people aren't spending money on the other side of the border and businesses are being hurt. You're actually harming the fundamental relationship. And that's what makes this such great news, that we're getting back to something approximating normal as of tomorrow. U.S. policy has been for some months to allow all vaccinated Canadians in, period. Very much like normal, very easily. You should have your documentation with you in case you're asked. You're not even going to be asked in every instance because they don't want to cause backups and they don't consider it necessary. It's the officer's judgment, as it always has been with various forms of documentation. But northbound, of course, we've had the test requirement even for returning Canadians to get into the country, which has stymied casual travel. That exact kind of day-to-day interaction between Americans and Canadians that defines the relationship. In fact, it is, as we have been saying consistently for 2 years, one of the most frustrating things, and there have been a number of frustrating elements to this thing, one of the most frustrating things has been the lack of symmetry. We had for decades had a commitment by the U.S. and Canadian governments to what was termed a shared border. And that virtually everything, not always everything, but virtually everything would be in sync. So one country wouldn't start applying conditions or changing things at the border unless it was agreed to by the other country. Because we all know, whatever the most onerous or restrictive thing that's put in place by one country really becomes effectively the requirement in both countries. And that's no way to run a shared border between two countries with a special relationship as the U.S. and Canada. So we have struggled over the last year. We get some progress on one side, but it wasn't on the other side. So the other side that wasn't catching up was dragging down the progress here. And then it would switch, and then one would pull back on something that it's just been like a chess game. Except we haven't been able to figure out the rules, and the pieces haven't been moving in the right directions or in the right ways that you would expect them to. So one of the other important policy things that now is occurring as of tomorrow is that we're back to having a shared border. The policies are in sync. They are the same in both directions in terms of if you're a U.S. or Canadian citizen and you're fully vaccinated, you can cross the border. You don't need any test requirements. So that in itself is also another important element of this. But most of all, it is important, and we believe people will be anxious to start reuniting again. Because of just how special, how deep and broad the relationship is, the connectivity is. But we want a message in that regard. It's important to do that. It's important to send out messaging that we have had ready for months, just waiting to kind of have a green light. Okay, now finally it's appropriate to start putting this message out. And we hoped it would be in the run-up to summer, and it is, so that's very welcome as well, to say, basically say, we've missed you. We know you've missed us, we've missed you, we've missed the interaction. We're still here. Everything that you enjoyed 3 years ago in the North Country is here waiting for you, and really wanting to see you back, not just as customers, but as friends. So please come down, not just to enjoy the things that you've been missing, and we'll be coming up to enjoy the things we've been missing, but because in doing so, you're going to help speed the reconstruction of that special relationship between our two peoples. It's important for all of us to do it. May actually make a special effort to do some trips and cross the border and show that we're getting back to normal and that we value that relationship. And we know that interaction is going to help both countries and both peoples in a multiplicity of ways. And so we thought in the day before Reunion Day tomorrow, we would have our Visitors Bureau outline to you the messaging campaign that we have ready to go. And to do that, I'm going to call on Christy Kennedy, our Vice President for Marketing.
Who's that? Oh, that's me. Got it. Got it. Good to know. I think I had a renewed sense of excitement this morning, knowing that I was going to get to come here and talk to all of you about tourism and the Adirondack Coast and all the wonderful things there are to do here. I have been at this chamber, and Gary hasn't kicked me out yet, for about 14 years now, and the Adirondack Coast has always been very close to my heart. It's what I've been passionate about, it's what I love to tell people about. And the last 2 years not being able to talk about how incredible this destination is, all the incredible things there are to do, the wonderful assets we have, it was a bit of a challenge for me, especially when I'm a cup half full kind of person. So I'm excited to be here today to talk about what we're doing, me and Alyssa and the team are doing to really bring back our visitors, message to them, tell them how important they are to this community, how we are excited, help them with education and understanding what they need to know to come across the border, as well as what's new here and what's happening and what they can take advantage of. And I do think reuniting is the perfect word. A lot of times in years past, we've always heard that this is a place they've always come with their family. It's a generational destination. They have fond memories of being here with their family, going to the city beach. I, for one, am very excited to go to the city beach and do the best people watching ever again, because I miss that, and meeting new people and seeing what they're doing in our community. So I'm just really excited to have that relationship back and be able to talk to them again and do marketing and share this incredible destination with them. With that said, like Gary said, the first thing we are rolling out as of tomorrow, you may have seen it on the front door, is what we're calling our Welcome Back, We Miss You campaign. There's some beautiful signage behind these gentlemen. I'm Vanna. I'm not Vanna. I can't walk in heels to save my life. Welcome Back signage, and we are actually sending that to all of our hospitality and tourism partners. We're encouraging them to put those on their windows, on their tables. As you can see, there are some table tents, things like that. We want a unified message that really after 2 years, we understand how important this market is to our community, what it means to our economy, and that we are truly, truly excited that they're back. They are bilingual. Everything you see will be bilingual. We understand that. We understand how important that is, and we want to make sure that we put out information that everyone can read, understand, and feel included in. So, beyond the Welcome Back flyers, posters, and table tents, we are also doing a bunch of stuff on social media. It starts out with some videos, and I apologize now if you see my face. I don't know why people watch them. Just kidding. So 7 short videos, and it is all about welcome back. Here's what's new, here's what's happening. Some people in really popular destinations such as Champlain Centers, the City Beach, like I mentioned, Sable Chasm, saying welcome back, we've missed you. We're ready to have you visit with open arms, and we're here to help however we can, and we thank you for your business. So you'll see those running right up until summer. Again, we understand that summer is the season with our campgrounds and marinas that people are still going to be looking for information, and we want to make sure it's there at their fingertips when they're ready. It's a big part of marketing, right? Having the information ready when they're looking for it and making sure it gets in front of them. We're also going to do a lot of stuff digitally, doing some Google display ads and some network, Google network ads to boost in the Montreal and Ottawa region. We do have a quite strong group of visitors who do come from the Ottawa region as well, and we were building on that before the pandemic in 2019, so we don't want to lose that momentum. And they're going to be, some are going to be welcome back, some of them are going to highlight the incredible things there are to do in this area. You know, our 3 pillars are history, agritourism, and outdoor recreation, and obviously leading up into the summer, outdoor recreation takes focus, because I don't know about anyone else, but my kayak is calling me. But apparently you can't go out now, you get hypothermia, it's really bad. But I would try, we all know that. The other thing that we have done, which is really exciting, is if you go to goadirondack.com, which is the area's tourism website, there is a dedicated box right up top for tips for Canadian travelers. It has downloadable PDFs of what they need to know. You have to be fully vaccinated and have the American ArriveCan app to get back across the border. It's bilingual. We're trying to get all that information out there so that they know what they need to have a really good time here on the Adirondack coast and understand that we're excited. We're happy to have them. We want them here. We want to make sure their stay is great. We want to make sure that they feel the way about Plattsburgh they have for years, and that, you know, there's a lot of new stuff that happened during the pandemic that we now offer, and we want to make sure they know about that as well. Beyond the Welcome Back campaign, one of the things the Visitors Bureau does and has continued to do for several years is we are the marketing arm for Clinton County as well as the Adirondack Coast. So we have written and saved in the little folders a very, very comprehensive marketing plan for 2022. Different programs that we're going to do to create awareness about the Adirondack Coast. Different programs that we're going to do that will span a variety of media as well as markets, and really we're excited to execute that. It's everything from attending our first trade show in 3 years up in Montreal, the International Tourism and Travel Show, so we're going to actually go and speak with travelers who are interested in this area, hand out information, get that first-hand questions and be able to answer it and create the excitement. Oddly, this comes with us when we go as well. We're partnering with I Love New York on some of their efforts. They have a new marketing firm in Montreal that they're working with, and they've reached out and asked us, you guys seem to know something about the Quebec market. Can you help us out? And we're always happy to lend a hand there, so we're going to work with them. We're doing a lot digitally, leveraging Expedia CA and making sure our ads are on there for booking and helping our lodging properties. We are doing a PR campaign, trying to talk to travel writers and influencers who are from that market about the great things there are to do on the Adirondack coast and speak to their followers in that way. We're doing a lot on social, as is everybody. People go there as if it's a search engine and like, what can I do? And we want to make sure we're there and we're offering that, so we have some really great messaging and strategies around that. Also, we are doing a television campaign on CTV. It is going to run from Victoria Day in May to Columbus Day, which is Canadian Thanksgiving. And it's a co-op, so any of our partners who want to participate can as well. And then the VCB helps with the creative and different things like that. We're very excited. I honestly put that out, e-blast out, saying we're doing this because we can a week ago, and we already have 9 partners on board, which speaks tremendously for that program. Typically we have about 8, and sometimes that's me picking up the phone and nobody wants to talk to me because listen to this. This is a lot, I talk a lot. And so they all raise their hands via email, and we have 9 partners on board, so I'm really excited about that. And the tones of those television ads are really exciting. It plays on the idea of generational visits and how you think you know Plattsburgh, you think you know the Adirondack Coast, you think you know the Adirondacks. There's so much more. So come back, come visit, explore. It's new, it's exciting, it's the place you know, but it's so much more. It features a lot of different things, from our agritourism and our working farms that you could go and see, to our breweries and wineries, which I'm sure none of you have ever frequented because you're such homebodies, I'm sure, and outdoor rec, so our boating and our camping and let's see, fishing, because that's obviously a big thing to do here as well, and hiking. So we're very excited about that. Brochure distribution. For the first out of 3 years, we get to make a travel guide that's bilingual again, and I'm very excited about that. And we're partnering with several distribution companies in Quebec and Ottawa to help us distribute those in welcome centers, as well as even hospitals and waiting rooms and things like that. So it's very exciting all that we can do. I can gab on and on and on about everything we're doing because it is truly my passion. It is something I'm very excited. I'm excited to see our hospitality partners get, you know, the business back. I'm excited to see our campgrounds and our marinas full again and not their boats out on shore. I'm excited to have the conversations of people who've discovered the Adirondack coast again and what they love about it. I'm just excited. I'm very, very excited to have that. We even have some tour groups and motor coaches who are reaching out already to say, hey, we want to come and we want to see what's there. So, as I said, I'm a glass half full person. I think there's a lot of great things. I always preface that reach out if there's anything that we can do, if anything sounds exciting, but to be able to see that influx of visitors again and really help them visit, make memories, foster that connection. I couldn't be more excited that this is happening and when it is. And I look forward to a great summer season and even some fall colors, but we don't have to talk about that yet. Let's just get to summer, okay? But I truly appreciate every hospitality and tourism member who kind of went along for the ride the last 2 years, and I look forward to working with absolutely everybody with these programs. So thank you so much, and here's to the Adirondack coast in the summer. I'm not excited at all.
Thanks, Kirsty. I'm doing my part. I'm going up to Montreal for 2 days next week for the first time in 2 years. Going to a business lunch, not on Zoom, but actually a face-to-face business lunch at the Queen Elizabeth Hotel. That's going to be nice. I'm going to see some people I haven't seen face-to-face in 2 years. Having some sit-down meetings at the U.S. Consulate, including with the Canadian or the U.S. Ambassador to Canada, who's visiting Montreal next week. And so it's just going to be great to be having non-Zoom meetings and getting back up to Montreal. On top of which, I'm going to get to go to Latage and finally have some Indian food for the first time in 2 years. And I'm going to go see my tailor, which has been long overdue. I haven't seen him in over 2 years either. So I'm doing my part. We all need to start getting back and forth. We need to be going in the other direction as well, as I'm saying, to encourage the fact that we're seeing one another again, we're visiting one another again. None of this would be possible, none of any of the things we do in terms of marketing and tourism development would be possible without the partnership we have with the Clinton County Legislature, and we're pleased to have Rick Potiker, the county legislature's liaison with the chamber, with us here today on behalf of the county. Rick.
Thank you, Gary and Christy, for inviting the legislature here. On behalf of the Clinton County Legislature, I applaud this step towards a full reopening of the Canadian border. This is important, and we need to see the cross-border traffic. I would like to join Elise, Stefanik, and calling on the United States and Canada to drop all remaining travel requirements for northern border travelers and to continue drop the vaccine mandates that continue to impede cross-border travel and commerce, as well as keeping families apart. The time has come to bring our communities back together.
Thanks, Rick. And we have a few representatives of our hospitality community with us. We have Emily Mooseman, Marketing Director of Champlain Centers. It's rumored that some Quebecers occasionally go there.
They do. Hello, and thank you, Gary and Christy, for inviting me. We are thrilled that the testing requirements have been dropped. We look forward to the return of Canadian shoppers. Many of them have been away for a while, so they missed great store openings like Ollie's and Five Below. We've seen their eagerness online on our social media platforms, and we cannot wait to reconnect with them live in person soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Emma. Now you get to do those license plate counts for us. It'll be worth having someone wander around like there and actually count them. Norman Legoo, owner of Lakeside Coffee. Norman.
Hi, my name is Norman Legoo. I own Lakeside Coffee Roasters with my wife. It's a roasting business. We roast coffee, and we also have a coffee shop in Rouse's Point, and we are very, very excited to welcome our Canadian friends
And the
back.
North Country Small Business of the Year.
Yeah, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that, and thank you for inviting me to this event. We're very excited to welcome our friends back from the north. Pre-pandemic, we had established very, very great relationships with marina folks that were staying at the marina. They were also staying at local campgrounds, and even just travelers that would stop in to try to get away from the city and just enjoy the country for hiking and so forth. They would stop in, and we really cherished that relationship. So it was quite a hit when we missed out on them coming south the last couple summers. But we're extremely excited that they're back. Just last week, I spoke with a Canadian couple that were in the shop. They were new to the area, just wanted to get away from the environment they were in and come south, because they hadn't been able to come south in quite a while. And they had just purchased a slip. So I said, have you been here before? And they said, no, this is something new to us and something we wanted to do. So not only were we looking forward to seeing our friends that we've missed for all these years, we're looking forward to the new folks that are going to be coming down, because they just want to experience the United States, experience Clinton County, more importantly to us, and we look very, very forward to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You mentioned the marinas. I know we've all taken note over the last 2 years, become a symbol of the separation, to look at our marinas here in Plattsburgh and Rouse's Point and all over the area in Lake Champlain, and see that most of the boats never went in the water. They never went in the water the first year, and then we got to a second summer, and they didn't get in the water again, except for a few well-heeled Canadians who were determined enough to fly down here and make the hop so they could manage to get across the border and get to their boat. But that was only a few of them. And there are all of our marinas here, a majority of their boat owners are Canadian. There are some up in Rouse's Point where it's virtually 100%. So it's really only been the federal programs and other support systems that have kept those vital businesses going through all this, because their customers just haven't been there. And I bet you we're going to see them all in the water this summer. In fact, I'm sure that's what they're all busy right now, doing right now, is preparing for that in an entirely different season. And the same thing with many of our campground owners in this area, who depended on seasonal rentals by Quebecers. Basically, it was their camps. They came down, you mentioned generational, some of them have been coming down for many, many years as a family, and haven't been down in 2 years. In many cases, they kept their sites and hoped that they'd be able to get there, but they haven't actually been able to visit. And so even if a site is paid for, or boat storage is paid for, you're not getting any of the other ancillary revenue of purchasing things and spending and all of that in the community. And all of that is about to return. Those I know will come back very strongly. Those people have been desperate to get back here to their boats, to their campsites, to their second homes in many cases down here that they haven't gotten to in a couple of years, and have been paying people to take care of them. So all good news. And we have Shannon Wilkins from Rolf's Orchard, who is also chair of our Visitors and Convention Bureau and chair this year of the North Country Chamber. She's my boss, so be very nice.
Good morning. It's been a long 2 years without our Canadian visitors. We're so happy to have the restrictions lifted, and we can once again welcome them back to the Adirondack coast. The economic impact Canadians have on our economy is vital to our region. It will help with the airport, our hotels, the marinas, small businesses, and our restaurants in the area. I know at Rolf's, we have people, they camp every summer, or they have summer homes, so we've definitely missed seeing the Canadian license plates. They come to pick berries, they're there pretty much all season. So I know we're looking forward to it, and thank you to Gary and the team. They've been advocating for this basically since the border shut down. So, thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. So just kind of a final push in terms of messaging out there. We'd like to see every business, even businesses that don't necessarily do business with Canadians, but certainly we're all favorably impacted in a special relationship and want to see them back, post the materials show them a visible welcome as they walk around the streets or come into shops. And use their social media, their Facebook pages and all of their other social media to multiply the impact by pumping it out and reinforcing that message. Boy, you know, we're happy. April 1st is here. We're looking forward to seeing our Canadian friends come down. Please come down if you've got specials or other things to put on your Facebook pages or your websites. You know, do that. Everybody reinforce the message. Everybody, you know, over the next several months to welcome those that come down and to encourage those to come down. It's not going to be suddenly a gate opening and we're going to see 1 million Canadians coming in, you know, this weekend. It'll start slowly. We're early in the season. This wouldn't be the strong part of the year normally anyways. But on the weekends, we got to start seeing folks coming down to visit that restaurant or go to the mall or check out that campsite to get it ready for this summer or check out their boats. We want to make them really feel like they've been missed because they have been. You know, it's easy to say things that are true, and so we all ought to be able to say, even when we see some of them, thank you for coming down. I want to welcome you back. If you have a chance to do that in the store, you see them getting out of a car somewhere, say thank you, we've missed you. And if we all do that, we'll accelerate the restoration of this reunion between our two peoples and between these two neighbors. With that, we can take some questions here or be available afterwards.
Gary, I'm wondering if any of the local business representatives could talk about and delve into a little bit more of the economics of this. You know, they've been able to make it through the pandemic, so what will the Canadians coming back mean for their bottom line?
Sure.
Excited?
Yeah, come on up to the mic. Thank you.
So pre-pandemic, the percentage from our friends from the north was, gross revenue-wise, was probably about 60-40. 60% of our income was generated from traffic coming during the summer and spring and fall, from the Canadians coming down to utilize the marina, camp in the local area, and also just passing through, just wanting to get out of the city and come to a nice, relaxed, rural environment. But I do have to give a shout out to the local community. They stepped up. They said we wouldn't fail. So, sorry. I don't know. But they didn't let us fail. So our wholesale coffee accounts are as strong as can be. They supported us and ordered coffee through the whole time frame. And so we built a different business. And now to take the business that we had pre-pandemic, which we think is going to come back twofold, I think we're going to be in for quite a ride this summer.
Before you sit down, could you spell your name for us?
Yeah, it's Norm Lague, Lague, and I own Lakeside Coffee Roasters with my wife. I apologize for that. I get a little bit emotional, but as I get older,
It was an incredible 2 years.
Yeah, it was emotional. But we're in a better place now, and we can't wait.
And I think it's worth noting, as you just noted, that we all continue to be appreciative of the degree to which locals really made an extra effort to do business locally with businesses as much as they could. Now, that didn't translate into putting a boat in a marina or running a campsite in many cases. So some sectors, you know, really took a hit. But there was a degree to which local expanded business helped our small businesses survive, and to which our Visitors Bureau and its partners in the region succeeded in getting downstaters to get the heck out of the city during this thing the last 2 years and come up here. And so we saw more New Yorkers and downstaters, people from New Jersey, who said, let's head for the mountains and the lakes. And that helped replace, to a degree, the loss of some of our international visitors. But now, flash forward to Reunion Day, starting tomorrow, if we can hang on to an increased visitation from downstate in New York, because they've come up here and discovered us finally, in many cases which they hadn't done before, and will continue to be here, and get our Canadian friends to start coming back, what our next couple of summers we ought to be able to have. And so we keep that in mind. This is about, and also an opportunity to kind of double up in terms of some of the foundation that we built out of necessity during the pandemic, that's also going to continue to benefit us, plus our friends. Other questions?
Well, I am curious about one thing, but if they have questions, I'll ask it after.
I just have one thing to be clear. It's just a vaccination status to enter the U.S. and to enter Canada, right? So for
Yes.
both of them, it's the same now?
Yeah, they're both the same now. You have to be fully vaccinated, so you need to have evidence of that, even coming into the U.S. So if you're asked for it, you can provide the proof of it, so that's important to make sure that people have that with them. Canada has implemented a new pre-reporting process at the border that is not strictly pandemic related and is going to remain in place. And all indications are that it is here permanently and we'll just have to get used to it. And that's the Arrive Can pass, which people can go download very easily. Heck, if I can manage it. On their phone, you can do it on your PC, if you prefer to do it that way. And once you've done it, your vaccination proof is on there. But then you also can then simply use it, like I'm going up next Tuesday. So within 72 hours of when you plan to go to Canada, you need to go on that app and say, okay, I'm planning to cross the border at Lakeside on Tuesday at approximately 10 a.m. And you click, you fill, you just X some boxes, it's very simple. Other questions at the last, you do that, and then you're set to go, and they have that when you arrive at the border. Do we wish they weren't doing this at this time? Yes, but they are, so we'll get used to it. It really isn't complicated once everybody does it the first time. And it certainly isn't going to inhibit our Canadian friends. They're actually more used to than we are of doing these sorts of things to comply with travel. All right, thank you, everyone. We'll remain available if you want to talk to any of us after. Thanks to our guests. Thank you.
For the benefit of people like me, and I know I'm not the only one, because I talked to a couple of them right here in this room today, who aren't quite sure how to get the Arrive Can app on their phone so they can cross into Canada. And this is handy to know. If you have relatives over there who want to come this way, you can tell them how to do it to go back too. So we got Christy, is it Christy with a T, right?
Christy, yeah,
Christy Kennedy. And your title? For the
Vice
chamber?
President of Marketing.
Vice President of Marketing.
Yeah.
All right. So, and she just did a nice presentation here on the, what are we calling tomorrow, April 1st?
Reunion Day.
Reunion
We're
Day.
getting together. We're going to be back. So it's actually really easy. And
She's using my phone.
yes.
Go ahead.
So we can find some dirt. Let's see what we find. No. So if you have an Android like this, you would go to the Play Store. Now, if you have an iPhone or an Apple product, you'd go to the App Store. It's all the same. So yours is the Play Store, and you're going to type in Arrive Can. And then,
See the spelling?
yep, arrive, like you're arriving to Canada. So Arrive Can. And then this is actually the icon for the Arrive Can app. And it's really easy. All you're going to do is hit install on whichever platform you have, and it'll download it from there. It'll be on your home screen, and then you can open it up and follow all the instructions.
Okay.
So right now you're installing, and then it'll say open, and you can open it and go right through.
Okay, then how do I get a picture of my record of vaccination on there?
It's going to lead you through the entire process when you open it. It'll ask you to type in certain information, take a picture of certain information.
But use the camera to take a
Yep,
picture?
and it'll actually pop your camera right on when you pick which type of information you want to include, because you can put your passport in here as well. So when you cross the border, all you have to do is open this, and it's got everything right in there, and your vaccination status. So it's really, I did it yesterday to make sure, so then you could open it. And as I mentioned, you have to just sign up, create the account, and it's going to walk you through absolutely everything. It links to your email. You'll hit that verification code and go from there. It's very user-friendly because I was actually concerned yesterday about what it meant and how we were going to use it and everything, and it was very easy. It's like, do you want to take a picture of your enhanced driver's license? Do you want to take a picture of your passport? What do you want to do? And then you take a picture of your vaccination card and it loads it as well. So very easy, user-friendly. I don't think anyone's going to have an issue, but on goadirondack.com there are instructions on how to do this and how to
Chamber
follow.
website, goadirondack.com.
And there's
Also instructions there.
yes, so we made it as easy as possible for everybody.
Okay. And Gary Douglas is saying within 72 hours before crossing. Now, can you do it within half an hour before crossing?
You can. They do just encourage a little bit of time so they can make sure everything is loaded in there, and then when they scan it, you'll pop up and you can go through a lot easier. But if it's a last minute thing and you need to, it works as well.
Okay, just to throw a monkey wrench in all this, here on this March 31st, a couple of days ago we had some people who wanted family members to come across for a funeral, so they called Lacole, and the guy they talked to said they had no instructions yet on what they were going to do, which is now tomorrow, April 1st. So as of Tuesday of this week, they did not have any instructions from their government on what they were doing on April 1st.
Oh, yes.
So hopefully,
I feel like it always comes down to the 24th hour we get it all done, but somehow it always works. It worked last time. Every kind of change has been a little bit bumpy, but we always get through it, and there's been a lot of talks and understanding and information out there about this day coming. So fingers crossed, you never know, but as far as we've been told and concerned, everything's ready to go.
we'll find out tomorrow.
Exactly.
Reunion Day.
Yes, reunion day. And if it has anything to do with technology, it always takes a minute to work, so it'll be great.
Let's make this our first and last reunion day.
Yes, I hope so. Now we just get together and have fun anyways. So, well, thank you.
Thank you, Kristen.
No problem, thank you.
We were having trouble with the focusing, so we'll be doing this on our own. First thing it's going to ask is email address and password, and to sign in, create an account. By following the instructions, you can easily get to the point where you have the ArriveCan app on your phone. You can also do it through your computer. If you need information, go to the North Country Chamber of Commerce website. When you're initially applying for your ArriveCan app, you will need either the information from your passport, if you're like me and don't have a passport. If you have a New York State license, it should be an enhanced license at this point in time. So they'll ask for the information off your enhanced license. Your enhanced license is what you would normally show when you're entering Canada to begin with, so it's nothing new there. So they just want that information on their app. So you give them that information, then they'll ask for the proof of the vaccination. If you use the laptop or computer to access it, you can just have a picture on your laptop or computer and send them that. If not, you can take a picture with your phone and send it to them via your phone. So whatever works, and in no time at all, you should be able to get this information. This is on the 31st. Hopefully on early in April, we'll give this a first-hand try, and we'll see how it goes when we cross the border for the first time in over 2 years. So welcome back to our Canadian visitors, and hopefully they'll be welcoming us to their side of the border. And again, if you need more information, North Country Chamber of Commerce is where you can find it.